that symbol with it. Like I did this jazz recording at the studio called Oz. We used to call it Oz. And it was like a heavy metal stuff. And everyone, it's jazz session there. And they have all these symbols like and he had like all these like big thick metal symbols and I was throwing out this K out, man. I was like, wow. And the engineer was like, dude, that thing's been playing in here for 20 years. He gave me a check for it.
Good evening, Erev Tov, and welcome to our February 1st Wednesdays at Bethel. This concert is endowed by the Bethel First Wednesday Concert and Cultural Serious Fund. We hope you will consider a donation so that we can continue to bring you high-quality programming such as tonight. And believe me, I heard this gentleman rehearsing this afternoon. They are amazing, professionals, fantastic. If you want to consider placing an advertisement for your business, firm, or practice, or a lovely dedication page for a loved one, a thank you on a special occasion or milestone, or recognize your family and friends, our course guide, this course guide that you receive in the mail, goes out in early summer to over 3,000 homes and businesses in our community. It's also a tax item and an amazing way to show your support for the Rabbi Mark G. Loeb Center for Lifelong Learning. All donations, ads, and dedications pay for programs, teachers, and performances. Tonight is very special. We bring you the Towson University Jazz Exchange as our headlining event. This is the faculty and students of Towson University, which is also very close to my heart. I teach there Hebrew, and my wife teaches there education. Towson University is a special place, and I'm so honored that you guys are with us tonight. Thank you for being with us. So the evening is going to be as such. The performance will start in about 30 seconds. Mid-performance, Andy will come up and ask a few questions to the performers, and then we will close it with questions that you may have, and you can put them on chat. Without further ado, here is the Towson University Jazz Exchange.
everybody. Can you hear me out there? Your mic. Hello, everybody. There you are. We can't see you, but you can see us, and that's cool. I just wanted to let you know that you're listening to Jeff Reed on the bass, Mike Cool on the drums, Jeff, Mike, and me. I'm Dave Ballou. We all teach at Towson University, and we're really honored to have Zachariah Lambert with us. He's a student, a guitar player, great musician, great guitar player. We're really glad that he's joining us this evening. Originally, this was, we talked about doing this concert a year ago, and we were going to have more of kind of a showcase of the Department of Music at Towson, you know, some of the classical singers, and some of the piano players, and we had this whole thing planned, and then, well, you know what happened. And so we still wanted to do it, so we decided to do it as this quartet with faculty and students, and so we're really glad we were able to do that. The first tune you heard was a blues by Thelonious Monk called Blue Monk. It's a nice tune to get kind of started, get into the sound of things. The next tune we're going to feature Zach. This is a Billy Strayhorn composition entitled Upper Manhattan Medical Group. Let me try that again. Upper Manhattan Medical Group. Billy Strayhorn composition. Zach Lambert on the guitar, Mike Cool on the drums, and now we're going to feature our bassist Jeff Reed on a lovely tune entitled Lullaby of the Leaves. Cool. That was Jeff Reed. Lullaby of the Leaves. I can hear you applauding. I can hear that. So let me give you a little insight into what we're doing. You've heard some of our music so far. So Mike, Jeff, and I played at a club in Baltimore called Bertha's for about 5 years, 6 years? Or every Tuesday night for about 6 years. And we use these songs as kind of formats to improvise within. So each song has a form, and that form In the case of Blue Monk, is a 12-bar form. In the case of Upper Manhattan Medical Group, it's a 32-bar form. In the case of Lullaby of the Leaves, it's also a 32-bar form. You can see there's kind of a, typically there's a 32-bar form. There's always divisions of 4 and 8, most of the time. So what we do is we use that as the box, and we improvise within that. So we understand the harmony and the rhythm, but you can hear that we try to, we throw some other curves in there every now and then to try to make it, we're searching for a musical statement. You know, we're not like just trying to throw in something to be slick or interesting. It's like the collective listening to each other, and what comes out of that hopefully is music that you're enjoying to listen to and is tweaking your interest and maybe even challenging what you might think music is. So that's kind of where we're coming from. I can tell from the feedback in the room that it's really going over really well. There's nobody here, except there's 2 people over here that we're going to meet in a minute. One you've already met. So we're going to continue. Now, this next song is a really common jazz tune. You may know of it. It's actually a standard Great American Songbook tune, and it's called "All the Things You Are." It's written by Jerome Kern, and this one has a little bit unusual form in that it's 36 bars long, but it has some conventional things in it. But we love to play in this song. It's one of the songs that we learned many years ago, and we love playing it. We keep playing it, and hopefully you'll find it interesting. And we don't know what we're going to do to it. Like, we haven't rehearsed this. Most of the music we don't rehearse, and we just kind of go as we feel the music goes. As you might have noticed in the last tune, you know, at the end, I said to Jeff, "You take it." Just kind of like it felt like he should end it. We shouldn't just come back in. And that kind of gives him a clue that, yeah, you know, don't expect us to come back in. And he found the ending. So that's kind of how that works. So All the Things You Are, we're going to find our arrangement. It's over there. It's different every time.
Bravo. Yeah, tell us about that. Why is it different every time? What did you mean by that when you said that?
Well, I mean, it's not. There's elements that are different every time. The song is the same every time, but you could hear there's elements of things like particularly that phrase. That's a classic introduction to that song from Kenny Dorham Contrafact that's on that song entitled Prince Albert. But we all kind of know that, so we kind of use that as extra material. The rhythmic feel.
Throwing a quote out at somebody.
I'm sorry?
You're throwing like a musical quotation out at somebody. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I mean, you could say it as a quotation, but it's more like an element of an arrangement, that we're using to create this performance of it. I mean, we certainly can play the song, straight up and down as it is originally intended, and that's kind of the basis where we start from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What drew you to jazz and to music, maybe? What drew you to trumpet? What drew you to jazz trumpet?
I'm sorry. This is.
I know it's like you can hear me on Facebook.
I can
but
hear
you might
you.
not be able to hear me. What drew you?
Because there's a lot of echo in the room, so
Yeah.
like I can't really hear sometimes what you're saying is.
Yeah, what
really
drew you to jazz trumpet, to trumpet?
What brought me to it?
Yeah, what about jazz? What about the trumpet? What speaks to you?
Yeah.
You.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, trying to figure the succinct answer to that, because there's a very long answer to that.
Yeah.
But the short answer is when I was in junior high, my brother was his older brother, and he was a musician in school. So I was trying to emulate to be like him, and so I picked the trumpet. That's a whole other story. That's interesting. Originally, I just picked it because it was something I was trying to be like my brother. But then, as I started practicing it, and I started to meet other musicians, and then I actually got a teacher who I studied with for many years as a young person. I started to really be drawn to it's weird to say this as a trumpet player, but I was drawn to the solitude of it. I really was drawn to practicing and getting better. And then, even though I would play with groups, it was a smaller subset of people, so even though we were in a group, it still felt like it was our thing, so like that solitude kind of helped me find myself, so even today I still practice every day, because it's like my space, it's like if I miss a day of practicing, I get a little grumpy, because I'm kind of like miss that space, you know what I mean?
That's really.
So there's an aspect of being that's what drew me to jazz too, and improvisation, because I'm 58 years old, so I grew up in the late 70s and 80s, before there was the jazz is kind of an industry that it is now. So we had to kind of find musicians that were playing this way. And the way I play now was really informed by the information they gave me. Personally, first thing what they told me was, don't copy anybody. Learn from other people, but don't try to sound like somebody else. Sound like yourself. And it takes a long time for you to learn how to sound like yourself. But that goes back to that part of the solitude, was that practicing and becoming a better musician helped me to do that. And jazz, particularly, and improvisation like this, took me outside of the trumpet, right? Because there's learning the trumpet, learning your instrument, but then to play with people in this way, you have to learn music. And you have to learn music in a way that it becomes intuitive. It's like speaking. Although, that's why the daily practice and constant curiosity about what's going on, listening to different recordings and hearing inside of those recordings.
Yeah, what are some of those recordings? What are some of those influences?
Well, first of all, I mean, I have to say the Miles Davis Quintet in the 50s with Ron Carter, Tony Williams, Wayne Shorter, and Herbie Hancock.
Yeah.
That was some of the first music that I was drawn to, because older musicians were into it and I didn't understand it at all. And because the older musicians were into it, I was like, there's got to be something here. I got to listen to this. So I kept listening and eventually started to hear how they used the form, like we're using the form now. Yeah. This is similar practice. And then that led to other musicians. Like, for instance, when I was, growing up, I grew up in Rhode Island, and there was a Boston radio station that had jazz after hours, and they would play, like, late Coltrane, Archie Shepp, all this avant-garde jazz late at night. And I would turn on the radio and fall asleep to it, because I was like, I didn't understand any of it at the time, but it kind of kind of sunk in, you know, and it
Yeah,
started to
absolutely.
like become, okay, this is part of what the music is.
Yeah. So just you have two trumpets there on stage, and
Yes.
I mean, I know the difference, but I mean, for anyone, maybe Zachariah doesn't know the difference. I don't know. Mike, do you know? Mike doesn't know the difference. Okay, so
Yeah, I'll tell you. So this is the trumpet, and this is called a flugelhorn. And you can see it's really the same length as the trumpet, so it's the same pitch, same three valves, but you can, obviously the shape is much different, so the tone quality is different, right? So I was having trouble with the valves on this when they were sticking on the first tune, so I kind of was staying away from it. But basically, I mean, should we demonstrate it or?
yeah, what tune would call for just the straight trumpet? What tune would call for the flugelhorn? I suppose it.
Well, in this context, it's really kind of more the vibe of the tune, you know. So like the first tune was Blue Monk, kind of a mellower vibe. So the flugelhorn is kind of a mellower sound, and it fits that really well. And the trumpet's a little brighter, so faster tunes, the trumpet might be good. But I try to mix it up, you know. I try to challenge myself. Sometimes if it's a fast tune, I'll try to play flugelhorn to see what that sounds like, because it throws another mix into the improvisation, you know.
Yeah, is there something always new to you about it? Is there something kind of like deeper that it speaks to you in that sense?
We're looking for something new. I mean, it's impossible to play something that's new. Everything, in the 500 years of printed music, thousands of years of music, everything's been played.
Yeah.
You're not going to play anything that hasn't been played. But it may not have been played by me, right? So that's the thing. It's like we're trying to be open to playing things that we haven't played yet and letting the muse kind of guide us. But the practice is having your instrument to the point where you can channel that, right? And that's kind of the challenge of that.
Now, I never do this, and it might be a complete faux pas, but would you take a request?
Yes, I understand we have
an expert clarinet
I
player
understand
here.
that. Yeah, we were really excited about
And I don't. If he happens to have his clarinet with us, maybe we could get him on stage for just any tune that features the clarinet, whatever that
I
tune
think
may
it's
be.
a great tune that features a clarinet. Dr.
Please.
Bohr, would you join us?
Of course, it will be my pleasure to join you. Can you do something different, something Jewish? So perhaps those who are listening to you now will invite you to play in weddings or bar mitzvahs. And
Let's do Hava Nagila.
do you want to do a Hava Nagila?
Yeah.
All right, very good. Thank you.
I think you guys know that one, right? All right. Bet you guys didn't know he played like that, did you? Awesome. Thank you. We're going to continue with another tune. This tune is entitled Emily by Johnny Mandel, who passed away last year, and we hope you enjoy it.
Thank you so much. What a great pleasure. Andy and I were sitting here in a hall that can hold up to maybe 1,000 people, and we got such a nice treat, a private concert like that. We don't hear it every day. So thank you very much, and promise me that next year, when everything is okay and the pandemic is gone, you bring a group. The entire stage should be filled with your students and faculty here. Can you promise that?
I can promise that, absolutely.
Are you good for that too? All of you? That's great. Thank you. Thank you. So, again, thank you so much for an enjoyable, fun evening of music. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us for a special program entitled Dying with Dignity, Advanced Medical Planning and Facing the Unplanned. It will be on Wednesday, February 23rd, 2022 at 7:30 p.m. Featuring Dr. Dan Morheim, Dr. Neil Goldberg, Certified Physician's Assistant Myra Katz, and Rabbi Ben Shalva. This event is virtual, and you need to register for that. Our next First Wednesday concert is on March 2nd at 7:30, when we bring you the award-winning contemporary folk duo, The Levines. Have a good evening, everyone. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Ellen, for helping us to promote this evening. And you guys, thank you so much again. Have a good evening. Thank you.